Today I thought I would bring it back to basics and talk about the different ways that we communicate. So I know that I talk about communication in terms of languaging, probably more than anything else. But there are different ways to communicate and different ways in which we communicate that we may not even be consciously aware of or even think of when we talk about communication. So really it's just kind of a little sharing around what those different ways are. So we have words, which are both spoken and written. So we can have the spoken word or the written word, and that's how we can communicate. That's a big way in which we communicate. We have actions, so our gestures, what we do communicates a lot, whether it's what we do in ourselves or what we do for other people or to other people or anything like that. So our actual active actions communicate a lot. We also have body language. So there's the well-known sort of body language of arms crossed, hands in pockets, or whether you leave your jacket on or off, or that even goes into facial expressions as part of our body language. That communicates a lot, and we perceive a lot, we feel a lot from that. And alongside the facial expressions, we also have eye contact as well as a way of communicating. And that can be very telling in very different ways. We have touch. So how touch communicates a lot in a lot of different ways. So how we touch, the kind of touch it is, and what we are trying to convey in that touch. And I think in that it leads into our intent. So we communicate a lot in our intent, which is basically our energy. So if I were to place my hand on someone's shoulder, my intent in doing that can communicate a lot and be felt a lot more than what could be said. And that is a big tell of feeling what someone is trying to communicate where words may not serve. And another one that I have on my little list, I haven't counted up the list, but the other one is what we share, our art. So it could be sending someone a song or lyrics or a picture, and what we share with other people, or even what we share online, communicates a lot about maybe where we're at or what we want them to know, what we want them to know about how we're feeling or what we want them to feel, all of these different things. So when it comes to communication, there isn't just one way to do it. There isn't just words, even though I'm a word lover. Words are very, very important, both spoken and written. And some of them can be combined into each other. So if you write someone a letter, that's the written word, but it's also a gesture. It's also what we share as well. So communication isn't just words. It means that we are all communicators in our own way. It just depends on what it comes down to, really, is whether we're doing it on purpose and how we are doing it on purpose, if at all, and whether we're considering or have intent, that energy behind it or not. That's really what makes the difference to whether you're actively communicating or just passively communicating. And there's no right or wrong in general, but when we are trying to get something across, it's really important to consider those things, those elements that come into play around that, rather than just the words we say. Because if we just say words but we don't have the intent, as an example, behind it, there is a lack of congruence that the other person will feel. Same with actions. If we say something and our actions are totally different to what we've said, there's a lack of integrity there. Or our body language doesn't match our words or our touch even, then there's something different there as well. So know that these things play a role with each other, and know that they all play a role in how we communicate, and they can help us become better communicators as well, little by little. And just by looking at these different little things, so words, actions, body language, intent, touch, eye contact, what we share, looking at each of these things and looking at where it may need just a little more attention, or where you haven't really noticed how you show up or how you communicate in that way before, can make a big difference in how you then learn to express yourself. Because sometimes your words aren't exactly where you feel comfortable expressing yourself, but there's other areas that you might. So I have a friend who is very good with the spoken word, very, very good with spoken word and expressing himself in that way. I am much better in expressing myself in the written word in a personal way, and having that understanding in where your strengths lie can then help you better connect with the people around you and sort of explain that and express yourself in a way. Because if they understand that you express yourself better in this way, then there's more of a space for you to do so.